Most of this was shot with the XT3 and A7 III. All the vertical videos are shot with the A7 IV, but all the shots that you see right now are shot with the Tamron or the Sigma 28 to 70 and the A7 III. There was a little bit of camera shake here and there for the most part, but all these shots came out pretty well. I'm going to go ahead and talk about a couple of things on here. On this shot, I was really low light, so I had to lower the shutter speed, and you can kind of see the shake in her thumb. Next couple of shots that you see were a first look and then just the dress. These were shot with the 28 to 70 at 28. I was really close to her, and then I was in a doorway in the second shot. This video was shot with the A7 IV. You can see a little bit of the pan here in just a second. For the most part, the video was pretty good. Now this section right here, these photos that you're coming up, these were all shot with the A7 III, 28 to 70, all at 28. Every single shot that was here was at 28. Backlit with the sun, did really well. Converted to black and white in my program that I talked about before, which was Luminar AI. Really brought it out. The lens does have a little bit of flaring. There's a shot that I did have, but I think I deleted it. There was really bad ghosting in there, but it looked pretty good. You know, if you look at this from a wedding perspective, but for the most part, I didn't really care for the ghosting. But when I talk about the XT3 and the XH1, I'm gonna take the same shots, and you'll be able to see kind of how the flaring is different between the three shots. But I'll talk about that on the actual XT3 XH1 series. This video was shot with the A7 IV, and I have the exact same look on the XT3 with the 55 to 70. This was shot in Cinetone, and I kind of graded it a little bit. But overall, I think it looked pretty good. You cannot really tell the difference between the X series and the Sony if you look at both of them side by side. If you look at these shots right here, these were shot with the zoom at 70 and then 28. Came out pretty good in general. This part right here, I love this shot, was shot with a wide angle lens. This was shot with the A7 IV. I love that they were dancing. It was really nice. It was a beautiful little spot. Handheld. You can see a little bit of the jitter, but I kind of like the way it looks overall. I think the stabilization is pretty good. I did another shot with the XT3 with no stabilization. You could really see it, but I think this came out really well for handheld. And the rest of these shots were shot with the flash and the A7 III. I mean, it came out pretty good. You're going to see here in just a couple of seconds where she's throwing the bouquet and it actually hits the light. I love this little shot, just having them fun. And then this last little shot at the end that's going to come up here, they're black and white. I really like how the detail came out for black and white with the A7 III. And then, of course, the very final shot. Now, I don't have very many shots for the ceremony in this one because they were all shot in the X series. But this is just kind of like an A7 III overview. A lot of flash at the end. I mean, tons and tons of pictures, but the very beginning part of the pictures were pretty much all natural, except for a couple of the ones where it was backlit with the sun. So these last two shots are my favorite, but I'm just going to talk a little bit about the A7 III in general. I really love the look of it. Came out pretty good. This is the second volume of the series for the weddings, and I feel that the A7 III is a pretty good overall workhorse. I know there's some things that go with it, but for the most part, I really love this camera, and the 28 to 70 is a very great lens from Sigma. They did a really good job on it. It's 2.8. I know that Tamron and Sigma are coming out with a lot of lenses that pretty much you could versatile all the way through for a wedding. But these weddings, I mean, these pictures look great and amazing. And of course, you know, part 3 will be the X series portion of it, all the XT3, XH1 shots, wide angles, and full views. But for the most part, the A7 III does pretty good in low light, and that's what I like about it. It catches. I mean, all these shots, I think about 90% of them were in focus. And it was a great wedding. You know, it was a military wedding, kind of. You know, a lot of the people were in military garb, and brought back memories. But it was really good, and I had a great time with this couple. And thanks to the venue in Austin. And thank you for watching. Have a good day.